Paul was a great man. Paul was an extremist. That's why I like him. He was a real extremist. He was ever the unsleeping guardian of the welfare of the Church of Jesus Christ. He was alert and watchful to preserve the purity and the peace of the church. I read about Paul when he was persecuted. I read about the time when they beat him with rods and laid many stripes upon his flesh. I read of the time when he was under the hammered blows of satanic opposition and human bitterness. But then never a tear came to his eye. He never wept when he was persecuted. I have seen him jailed in the prison cell. And there I read he sang praises to God, but there is no mention of his tears. But he never wept. He had no tears for himself, but he has tears for the church. He has tears for souls. I like Paul, you know. He was a real extremist. You wouldn't knock Paul around. You know, we're only paper and straw men today. There's no giants in the land today. Paul was a giant. And his back ran rivers of blood. And there were scars all over his body and over the body of his companion Silas. Do you want to get dead Christians living? Start preaching the gospel. Do you want to have resurrections? Preach the gospel. It's the answer to the problem. In fact, everywhere Paul went, there was trouble. He was a troublemaker. You could imagine a church committee or elders inviting Paul for an evangelistic campaign. And one old fellow saying, "Do you think, brethren, it would be wise to bring Paul? Would it be wise to bring him? After all, you know the type of man he is. He calls people children of the devil." Oh, my brethren, we couldn't have that in our pulpit. We wouldn't like a man like that. And then he usually gets a jail sentence when he goes to a town. And there's usually a riot. And there's often an earthquake. And there's always trouble. And there's always disputes. Why, don't you know what happened when he went to one place? The whole town turned out and they threw dust in the air in their anger and they nearly tore him from limb to limb. I don't think we should have this man for our campaign.